What up, everyone? This is Mr. Lord, Dr. Professor, Dark Joker, with another edition of Where, Pick, and Dare, where I pick games for the various games that are occurring tomorrow. Whether it's football, baseball, basketball, basically whatever games I want to pick, I will pick them. With all that being said, on with the video. College football. The ReliaQuest Bowl. So this is the Iowa Hawkeyes versus the Vanderbilt Commodores. So Iowa's a 41.6% chance to win. Vandy's a 58.4% chance to win. So Iowa is 23 nation, 8-4 record. Vanderbilt is 14 nation, 10-2 record. So yeah, this could be an interesting game. Now, I was gonna say how this, Vanderbilt players handle it. Being left out of the playoffs. Pavia not winning the Heisman. So, with quarterbacks, you have Gronowski with Iowa, 150 out, 240, 1529 yards, 8 touchdowns, 6 interceptions. Diego Pavia for Vanderbilt, 242 out, 340, 3192 yards, 27 touchdowns, and interceptions. Obviously, Vanderbilt's a better quarterback. Now, how this going with if Pavia doesn't get that waiver or whatever, then this is his last game of college football. So this is his last chance to impress pro scouts if he wants a chance of being drafted. And who knows how good his chance? He probably get. I think it'd be a late round draft pick, in my opinion. That's how I think it'll go down. But yeah, I don't know. This could be a good game, but I think with the quarterback, with Pavia, this being his last game to impress some scouts, help his get a pro career. Because even if he doesn't get drafted, I think he'll sign with someone. But this and with Vanderbilt having the year they had, obviously when you have Cinderella years, a lot of those teams do tend to try more in bowl games. Like, but so I think Vanderbilt will beat Iowa. The Cheez-It Citrus Bowl. So this is the Michigan Wolverines versus Texas Longhorns. Michigan is a 42.6% chance to win. Texas is a 57.4% chance to win. Um, let's see. So for Michigan's 18 nation, 9-3 record. Texas is 13 nation, 9-3 record. So this is a definitely interesting. So with quarterbacks, you have Bryce Underwood for Michigan, 179 out of 293, 22-29 yards, 9 touchdowns, 6 interceptions. Arch Manning for Texas, 227 out of 370, 29-42 yards, 24 touchdowns, 7 interceptions. So yeah, this could be so Texas, preseason, SEC favorite, a lot of people were predict like for most people, like a lot of people predicting to make most people were predicting to make the playoffs this year. They didn't, so who knows how that affects their motivation. And obviously Texas is the better quarterback situation right now in Michigan. Michigan, well, we know about their issues with Sharon Moore. I'm not gonna get we all know about. I'm not gonna get into it. And of course, with Kyle Whittingham coming in, next year, we'll see how things go. Like how motivated is Michigan after everything? Because also with them, they may have less motivation than Texas, and so that's gonna be interesting. This is in Orlando, Florida. So it's not necessarily a close game for either team. So I don't know if home field advantage is going to matter much here. I mean, they may be able to go to Disney World. A lot of people, fans may go to Disney World, after the game or before the game. Anyway, so yeah, I think with the quarterback situation and with all the stuff with Michigan, I think Texas will beat Michigan. The Cotton Bowl. So this is a quarterfinal in the college football playoff. And this is the Miami Hurricanes versus the Ohio State Buckeyes. Miami has a 29.5% chance to win. Ohio State's a 70.5% chance to win. Miami's 10 nation, 11-2 record. Ohio State's 2 nation, 12-1 record. So it's Cotton Bowl. So this is in Arlington, Texas. If A&M had made it to this, I would pick A&M, just do a home field advantage. So, but obviously with this being a Florida team and Ohio team, I don't think that's going to matter much. So a lot of it's going to come down to the players and the coaches. So quarterbacks, you have Carson Beck for Miami, 277 out of 372, 3175 yards, 26 touchdowns, 10 receptions. Julian Sayin for Ohio State, 279 out of 356, 3323 yards, 31 touchdowns, 6 interceptions. So, while yards is comparable, the touchdowns and interception things where Ohio State definitely has the advantage. Sam was a Heisman finalist for a reason. And if Ohio State had won the Big Ten championship, he would have won the Heisman, not Mendoza. And Carson Beck, he's had a good year. Coming back from the injury. And this could be and so Ryan Day is calling offensive plays for Ohio State. So that's gonna be interesting. So yeah, I think you know with all this, I think it's gonna come down to the teams. Like I don't think the atmosphere is gonna affect too much. Like just due to where it's at. Like if this was in Florida, Miami I think would have a good advantage here and probably would win. But they don't have that. So I think Ohio State will beat Miami. College men's basketball. Virginia Cavaliers versus Virginia Tech Hokies. Virginia has a 67% chance to win. Virginia Tech has a 33% chance to win. This is at Virginia Tech. So Virginia is 21 nation, 11-1 record. Virginia Tech is unranked, 11-2 record. So yeah, this could be an interesting game. So Virginia's more with stats. Virginia's more points per game. Virginia Tech is more points against. Virginia has a higher field goal percentage, more rebounds per game, assists per game, blocks per game, steals is even. So yeah, so a lot of these, definitely in favor of Virginia, but it's pretty close. So and this is a robbery game. Like that throws a lot of things to a loop. So I think with it being at Virginia Tech, with the home field advantage Virginia Tech should have, I think, Virginia Tech is going to pull off the upset and beat Virginia. NBA, Phoenix Suns versus Cleveland Cavaliers. The Suns have a 32.4% chance to win. The Cavs have a 67.6% chance to win. This is at Cleveland. So, with injuries for the Suns, uh, Dunn and Allen are game time decisions, and Green is out for the Cavs. Uh, Larry Nance Jr. and Struss are out, and Merrill is a game time decision for stats. Cavs have more points per game, points against. Suns have a slightly higher field goal percentage. Cavs have more rebounds per game, assists per game, slightly more blocks per game. Um, Suns have more steals per game. So a lot of stats are pretty close. So I think home field advantage is going to be the big thing here. So I think the Cavaliers will beat the Suns. The New York Knicks versus the San Antonio Spurs. The Knicks have a 49.5% chance to win. The Spurs have a 50.5% chance to win. This is at San Antonio. For injuries, for the Knicks, Kolek and Hookporty are game time decisions, and Robinson, Shamet, and Hart are out for the Spurs. Vassal's a game time is out, and Castle's a game time decision. For stats, Knicks have more points per game, slightly more points against. Field goal percentage is even. Knicks have slightly more rebounds per game, more assists per game. Spurs have slightly more blocks per game, and Knicks have slightly more steals per game. So a lot of stats, they're pretty close. Like these are close. So I think home field advantage is gonna be a big thing here. So I think the Spurs will beat the Knicks. Denver Nuggets versus Toronto Raptors. The Nuggets have a 32.1% chance to win. The Raptors have a 67.9% chance to win. This is at Toronto. For injuries, for the Nuggets, Strother is a game time decision, and Jokic, Gordon, Braun, and Johnson are out. And for the Raptors, Podol is out. For stats, the Nuggets have more points per game, points against, higher field goal percentage, more rebounds per game, slightly more assists per game. Raptors have slightly more blocks per game and more steals per game. So while most of the stats are close, the points per game, that's a big one. Now Jokic is out, obviously that's gonna affect things, but with this difference, you know, who but injuries, the big players are out. Like that is gonna be interesting to see how things go. Like, and yeah, so, Nuggets have lost three home games like consecutively, so yeah, and with Jokic being out, that's gonna be big. So I think the Spurs, or I think the Raptors will like the Raptors, like they're gonna be able to take advantage of Jokic and Gordon being out. That's what I think. So I think the Raptors will beat the Nuggets. And that's it for picks. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening to my picks. Do you agree with them? Do you not? If you have different picks, you can put them in the comments. But other than that, please like, subscribe, and all that. Thank you for listening, and look forward to the next video.